York, Randall Winston. Mesdames et messieurs, c'est un honneur de présenter le maire de New York, Randall Winston.
Hi, everybody. Matt here from Matt Likes Comics. And today is a special live stream because I got a box yesterday from that I was very excited to get. And the reason I was excited to get is because, well, you'll see. There's a couple books in there that I am so glad to have gotten. And I just wanted to share with people who like comics as much as I do. I hope everybody's doing great tonight. I see, let's see here. Hi, Kay Munin. Welcome to the show. It's good to see you. We may have a guest. We're waiting to see. In the meantime, I just wanted everybody to know that tonight, other than unboxing, we're going to look at some 70s books and that we haven't really seen before. There is a theme to tonight, but we'll get to that. There usually is a theme. But more importantly, this is going to be my last live stream for a couple of weeks where that I host. I will still be doing live streams on other channels, but due to the fact that the next couple of weeks have a couple of birthdays and a wedding anniversary in my family, I will be concentrating on those and therefore not going live for a couple of weeks, at least on mine. I will be on Coffee with Cliff. Coffee and Comics with Cliff on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. For those that, hi, Susan. I'm glad to see you today. Hi, Stephen. It's going to be an interesting show tonight, hopefully. At least I find it interesting. I hope you do too, as I always say. Hi, Steve. Good to see everybody coming out tonight. So, tonight, if you have one, grab your Legion rings. Put them on. Because...
Hey, Clark. Hi. How did you get... Never mind. Okay, even if you are from the future, and I'm not saying that you are, why me?
We belong to the Legion of Superheroes. We want you to join us.
Clark.
Yes, the Legion. Here is what I've taken the liberty of opening the box in advance. For the simple fact is, this just makes it easier because I almost cut myself the last time, and this way certain things don't get flashed. There were only 2 books in this order but they are 2 of the biggest books. In one case, one of the most expensive books that I've bought in a long time. But the important thing is, these have completed a run for me that I've been wanting to put together for years. Yes, we have Adventure Comics 310. Note the crypto on the cover. And the first appearance of Timberwolf, Adventure Comics 327. This book in particular was not cheap. It's in pretty decent shape according to this. It's a good, very good, and it cost me $26. However, with these 2 books, I have completed the adventure run from 300 to 380, the 1960s straight run of the Legion. I have also got the full action run, and I have the full run of the Legion of Superheroes after its turn from Superboy. Now I just have to get a few more in order to in order to finish up the I guess you call it the pre-crisis Legion. I have also made a list that I'm going to be cross-referencing because I know I have at least 4 of these books of pre-300 Legion appearances, which I'm excited to do because I know that looking at this, I've got one of the Jimmy Olsens, at least one of the actions, and one of the adventures. So I know that this list is going to get smaller. Unfortunately, 247 is going to stay out of range for a little bit. Sorry, Game Unit. Thank you very much, guys. It's a real big deal to me because I have worked hard to do this for the last couple of years. Because I was concentrating on Supergirl and a lot of Superman post-crisis for a long time, I mean, we're talking 10 years, the Adventure Comics run did not get the attention I wanted to until about 8-9 months ago. So I've managed to finally put it together, and I'm very, very happy to do so. So I see now that our guest has arrived. So without further ado, everybody please give a big Matt Likes Comics welcome to Alan, the comic collector geek. Hey, Alan.
Hey. Sorry, I had a little bit of trouble getting in for some reason. So
That's okay. We're glad to see you. We're glad to see you tonight. As I was just telling everybody, with these 2 books, Adventure 327,
oh, nice,
which is the first appearance of Timberwolf, and Adventure 310, I have completed the 300 to 380 run, and I have to thank.
Now you just got to work back down. Now you just got to.
Well, as I was saying,
298.
Yeah. Well, actually, what I was saying to the people before you got here, now that I've got the majority, I've got all the adventure run there. I've got the Legion run from 250, like after that goes from Superboy, and I've got the action run. I need about 7 books to finish the Superboy 70s run, but also I have made a list of the pre-300 appearances of the Legion, and it turns out I have like 3 of them already. So what it's a good way to get going, and that's what tonight is to do it. Tonight is a little bit of a Legion celebration based on the fact that I finished this. I have pulled a bunch of the Bronze Age Legion because I haven't shown that I'm going to show.
I'll find my Legion book.
So anything you like.
I gotta pull it. I haven't pulled it yet, so
no.
You gotta stay tuned for a little bit. But
which is fine. I just again, this was I realized this was very spur of the moment, but was all because I got the package yesterday. So
yeah, no, that's cool. It's cool. It's always good to have that impromptu unboxing.
I wasn't planning on having a live broadcast this week, but because the package came in, I decided to go with it. Also, I told the people before you came on that next week, the next couple weeks, I have too many birthdays / wedding anniversary to deal with at home that I cannot that cannot host a live stream for the next couple of weeks. But that doesn't mean I can't be on live streams. For example, I'm on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm going to be on Coffee and Comics with Cliff as a guest.
That's a pretty cool thing, you know.
Yeah.
That you're now doing the speaking tours.
Well, I mean, he out of the blue asked me one day, and I mean, I thought that was really nice. Cliff seems to be a DC Superman Legion fan, so from things that I've watched, so things are pretty good on this. So, what has Alan been up to?
I just been working really hard lately. I've been sort of busy. Got a whole bunch of new clients to deal with. So that's a good thing. Ultimately, means more comics in the future.
Well, welcome, Buttface McBooby. We're glad to see you today. I mean, the clients are clients, but I did watch I did manage to watch the parts of the live stream I missed last night because of the football.
I just have
And
to see which box it is that I have to grab in a second.
yeah.
It's one of those ones right there that has my Legion book in it.
Hi, Nate. It's nice to see you tonight.
Hey,
Glad you
Nate.
can make it. Well, if you want, I can show a couple of my
Yeah,
books
show a
if you
few
want to
things,
take
and
the
by
time
like,
to.
if you give me 2 seconds, I can find
Yeah,
it.
I
It's
will
just
go big and I will show 3 or 4 books and then we'll come back.
okay. Sounds good. Okay.
All right. So I just randomly grabbed a bunch of the Bronze Age Superboy and the Legion today. So I'm not showing everything. I just thought I'd show some of the books that I know that the stories from. And I'm going to start with this one, which is one of my favorites from this Bronze Age run. This is Superboy and the Legion Superheroes 221, and it is the first appearance of this man here, Grimbor, and this lady here, Sharma. Now, the point is that Grimbor is the universe's best locksmith, and he's good at locking everybody up. He can make traps that no one can get out of, and all that stuff. He makes about 3 or 4 appearances during the 1970s, early 80s, but he hasn't appeared since his last appearance in I think 1981, I want to say. But the premise of this book is that Sharma here, she has the mutant power to repel women to the extreme, repel women and attract men. And we're not talking about like just oh, I want you. I'm talking about total manipulation. And when it comes to the women's side, to the point where they want to murder her. So basically, Grimbor falls under her spell, falls in love with her, and decides that they're going to, steal a whole bunch of money so that she can get on.
That's cool.
Actually, K. Munin, that happens in his last appearance.
Is that the girl that's in yellow there?
Yes, her name is Sharma, as I said, or
She's
Charma.
cute. She
Yeah.
looks really cute.
Well, she only has this one appearance in full, and she has a cameo later where she's dead, where she dies.
Okay.
And that the reason that's there is because in later issues that becomes Grimbor's reason to go against the Legion.
And so what issue is this? Legion
This is a Legion Superboy and the Legion 221.
221. I'll have to look for that one because
Yeah.
I like the girl.
Yeah, it's actually, as I said, it's one of my favorite stories from the era because it's so funny to watch. Where literally, he manages to keep Superboy, like he manages to put Superboy in locks, and then during the big battle at the end, Shrinking Violet manages to start kicking her butt, and all the men like Colossal Boy, Timberwolf, and Superboy that all have super strength, literally rip the chains apart.
Wow.
Because again, they're basically in love with her, right? So
that's cool.
Because that's what her power is.
So this is her first appearance, and she has the power.
Yes,
of love?
This is both Grimbor and Sharma's first appearance.
Very cool. Very cool. And it's 250, 220.
It's 221. 221. 221.
I gotta remember that. I gotta write that down. I'll write that.
Which also brings us to Superboy and the Legion Superheroes 222. As I said, I just grabbed a nice run here. And basically, this is one of the few issues that have Tyrock, who was the first African-American member of the Legion. And he comes from a city called Marsville, which apparently the vast majority of Black people on Earth at that time live. And it floats in and out of existence. And they moved there because there they were safe from everybody who has been prejudiced against them forever. They decided to just remove themselves from Earth basically on a 20-year cycle at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And so Tyrock joins the Legion during that 5 to 10 year period that it's on Earth. And he ends up leaving the Legion because he wants to go back with his people. But that's not this issue necessarily. I don't think it was this one. But he only had about 4 appearances, and he had like the funkiest disco outfit that you could really tell. Mike Grell really went crazy on his particular one. Next up, we've got Legion 223, and this is an appearance of the Time Trapper. Unfortunately, the next part of the story, because it's a double shot, like a two-part story, I don't have because I don't have 224. That's one of the few I'm missing, but I will get it. Now that I've got the adventure done, I think I'm just going to sit down with my comic shop and get the 4 or 5 I need for this.
Mm. Did you ever consider trying to get like some of the bigger grails, like the First Legion or First?
Yes. No. That
Legion,
was always
like Legion
think of Supergirl and Legion for as 1 and 1A for me.
Okay. Would you
in
get
terms
like
of the-
like which would be a bigger book for you? Like getting
Well, for me personally, it would be Supergirl only because I like her slightly more than I like the Legion.
and would you how about like would you go for like it's there is actually a Legion 1 book, right? So
Yeah, but the Legion, the first Legion appearance, if it's a great deal, I will get that before the Supergirl. It all comes down to what's
I think
available.
actually they're about the same price.
They are now. They used to. The Legion used to be worth a lot more.
They're both expensive, is my point.
Yeah, yes, I know. This is 225. Okay, it was with a cool cover of Wildfire and Superboy going at it. That happens a lot in the 70s. They do not like each other that much per se. They respect each other. They like each other in the teammate sense, but not in the personal sense, I think. But I digress. Now, last one I'm going to show in this round is the first appearance of Dawnstar, Legion, Legion Superboy, Legion of Superheroes 226. Dawnstar is descended from Native Americans who have moved to a planet called Starhaven, and over the years they've grown wings. And in her power is I can track anything through space.
Now, are these like okay? The first character you mentioned, she only got like 2 issues basically. How about this character? Does she get more?
Dawnstar is a regular member of the Legion right through till today.
Okay.
Yeah, she's so I'm going to now bring
I
back
found those
Alan.
books really quickly. I actually, I thought I knew it was one of those boxes. I picked the very first box. It was right there.
Okay, well, we're gonna make Alan big, and he's gonna show some stuff.
So, actually, I really like the first appearance of the Legion, but I also like homages to it, if that makes sense. So here's the the homage of the Super Pets.
Yes, I love that book.
I just think it's so cool. You know, it's the same idea too. You know, like they're judging Superboy, or I think it's Superboy in this case.
Well, it's Proddy who's going into the shape of Superboy. If you read the story, he's being initiated for the Legion of Super Pets, and one of his initiations, he's got to act like Superboy.
Yeah,
so.
Proddy 2, for the first test, to get into the Legion, you must impersonate Superboy and perform super deeds. Yeah. So that's really cool. And then we have the Adventure Comics 247, which is
very nice. And that is definitely on the menu tonight.
Yeah.
How much did you pay for that? It's actually
not that expensive of a book. I don't know why I bought it restored in a way. I got it really cheap, actually.
Yeah. Well, what's his name? Ricky. Ricky was so happy to get that book.
Yeah. I mean,
that was one of his grails.
Oh, is this? Wait. I'm thinking. Oh, yeah. This is. Oh, sorry. I thought I was showing the different one. That's so funny. This is the big book. The other one's not so big. I was thinking I was showing this one. I grabbed the wrong one. So this is the evil one.
The evil one is pretty fun too. You know something?
No, they look so similar when you grab it, like when you're not quite looking.
Yeah.
At them.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, so this is the evil one. The next one is the big one. Sorry, I was like,
And I
why did I
actually
get it
think that it's
restored?
great.
Well, I think I paid $100 for this one. The restored one was really expensive. Like this, this is the big
Yes.
book. Yeah. I was like, why did I get it restored? It's not an expensive book, but it is an expensive book. Even restored, I think it was like, I want to say 800 to $1,000 range.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's what I'm saying. But I mean, like, I'm really starting to put money aside right now, and I'm
mhm.
going to get, before the end of next year, I am going to get one of them. I'm either going to get the Legion first or the Supergirl first. It depends what the best deal or what I can get my hands on is.
Yeah. The thing I like about the evil ones. So on
Sorry,
the
my wife is calling. I'm trying to.
yeah, I'll let your wife do that.
No, no. Okay, there we go.
Okay,
Okay.
so on the good one, it's like yes, no kind of thing, and they all say no, of course, right? Because they want to
Yeah.
test him. But I love the evil one. It's like life or death.
Right.
I think that's
Yes.
awesome.
What I like the most about the evil one is that the super villains are adults. So you get to
Yes,
see the superheroes as adults.
yes.
Okay. And this is what when I brought up that time, the one time in a video that unfortunately I wasn't able to keep, I brought up the fact that what I find interesting about Adventure Comics and the Legion is the question is, with the time travel aspect of it, are we getting the adventures in order as Superboy did it or in order as the Legion did it? Because
Mm,
allegedly Superboy spent almost a full year in the Legion straight time, and then he went
okay.
back 2 seconds after he left, back when
Okay.
he decided to go back. But the thing is, so the question becomes, how do we look at these things, And
Because this
there's
is this
always,
is this is not Superboy. This is Superman, isn't it?
well, no, that's Superboy, that's the
Oh,
adventure.
this is
But the other
Superboy.
one is Superman, and it is the adult. And there's enough adult Legion stories
Yeah,
too.
it's weird.
And it's funny how that they bring back the Legion of Supervillains many times, but not till Adventure 372 do you get an origin of it.
Yeah, actually, on the slab for Superman 147, it's the first appearance of the supervillains. And
That's
as you
correct.
said, it is the first Legion of Superheroes adult version.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very interesting. But yeah, actually, in some ways, I like the evil one better. No, it sounds
Yeah, well,
weird.
you know what? Saturn Queen is probably the best written one of them because Cosmic Boy is just a basically, the I don't want to, well, Lightning Lord is definitely a copy of Lightning Lad. They're brothers, right? So I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
but Cosmic King is just like, he's similar to Cosmic Boy. I mean, that's what they were going for, right?
Yeah, I
But
mean, they had the
instead of
same.
using magnetism, he got mutation.
So, how far in the future is this compared to Adventure
Um,
Comics?
my understanding is that they are 10 years.
So, it's 10 years into the future.
Yes, because the Legion of Supervillains starts while they're still teenagers. You see the origin later in Adventure 372. It's the first Legion of Supervillains chronologically.
Oh, okay.
So
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I collected it just because it's like a
mhm.
cool thing. But I like, your additional knowledge where you know all the stories and stuff. I think that's cool.
Well,
So those
as I've said before, the thing is, it's not that, it's because I've kept the Legion throughout even my dead period with comics. I still had a
Mhm.
lot of the Legion stories. They were pretty much all I kept. So I was still reading them quite a bit.
Mm. So do you find that are you like Justice League or Legion is bigger for you?
For me, the Legion is bigger. The
Hmm.
Justice League feels, as a result, like, more like, okay, they've got everything together, let's throw it. But I mean,
Hmm.
Justice League was obviously bigger at first because I mean, I love the Justice Society. But I mean, the Justice League was obviously marketed and made as bigger because in 1960, when the Justice League came out, the Legion only had 3 appearances at that point.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the Justice League is kind of the bigger one, just because the caliber of hero is higher, right? You know, it's got
Exactly.
Wonder Woman, it's got
And the Justice League was always meant to be an ongoing thing, where the Legion was originally supposed to be just one of those one shots. And the reason they come back for the second one was because people were writing in, we want to see more of this Legion.
Okay, interesting.
So Mort Weisinger, apparently the rumor is that he liked to go around his neighborhood and ask the kids, what do you want to see in Superman? What do you want to see in Superman?
That's cool, though.
And apparently a lot of kids said they really liked that Legion group. And the letters that came in were huge too, were a huge number. So they tested the waters again. And that was what this whole was. Like all these little appearances, as I've written down here, were just, okay, well, we'll
test it out a few more times.
Test it out. And sure enough, I mean, like, by the time they got their own book, they were already at 16 members. So people were really, really enjoying it. So, I mean, when you consider that they've never had more than 25 active members at a time, because it's actually explained in the Action Comics run that in order to keep their tax exempt status, they had to limit their membership to 25 or less. Reserves didn't count.
This is actually a part of the storyline that
it is part of the storyline. No, there was a reason for it, because it came down to the debate who's going to leave. And the person who ended up leaving was Superboy. He went to reserve status because even though Supergirl volunteered to do it, at the time, she was spending a little more time with the Legion because she was really serious with Brainiac 5 at the time. So Superboy, being the good cousin, said, "You know what? I'll go on reserve status." And then another person left not long after, like I believe, not long after Duo Damsel and Bouncing Boy got married, and that way opened up 2 spots. So Superboy went back on the active team.
I mean, wouldn't Superboy be one of the strongest Legion members?
He is the strongest Legion member in one sense.
Okay.
He has some of the most power. He's got some of the most powerful things. But when he's taking his serum, Mon-El is completely invulnerable. So he's just that little bit more powerful than Superboy.
Okay, but I mean, I'm just wondering why they would put him in reserve stand. Like, to me, Bouncing Boy or whatever, some lamer.
Because Superboy can go back in time and not be there.
What?
Because Superboy could go back in time and not be there, and his powers were Ultra Boy, Mon-El, and Supergirl would be able to cover it at the time.
Okay.
That was his argument. He said, the team's got you, the team's got Mon-El, the team's got Ultra Boy, who can even do this, I can go back for a little while, and that was the argument.
All right.
Yeah. And also the fact that he was, a part-timer that way. He wasn't allowed to be the Legion. Like, that was one of the fights between Wildfire and Superboy. Superboy won an election for Legion leader over Wildfire, but they ruled that Wildfire would be the Legion leader because he was there 100% of the time.
So with the Legion stories, are they more about, like, I haven't read the Legion. I can say that I'm fairly ignorant about the Legion stories. But from what I saw, the few ones that I did see, they seem to be much more cosmic rather than earthly.
Yes, there's a lot of cosmic. But what I would honestly say is that the earlier stories, the ones that are not in any particular book, they were a little more done with emphasis on the super character.
Okay.
So they were more cosmic in some effects, but when you had adventure, they were fighting people who were like, here's this guy using, animals to fight everybody. Here's this guy, here's these reptile people coming from another planet to steal Earth's resources.
That's what I'm saying. Cosmic in terms of like taking it not just like Earth-based, but
no, they never were. The whole point of the Legion was they were supposed to be a galaxy-wide
Yeah.
group. And with the way space travel is in there, it's fast. It's warp speed. It's warp whatever.
Yeah,
Like
of
like
course.
they get
Yeah.
they get across pretty fast. So I mean, there's not that much time dilation, I guess you could say, because they seem to get there at the nick of time every time.
Hmm. But when I'm
Um,
saying cosmic, I meant more like,
yeah,
so like whenever I think of the JSA or the Justice League, it's always some trouble on Earth.
yeah,
Whereas
yes, but that's what I'm saying. Like you see little things, but here's where I say it's cosmic and it's bad at the same time. The Timberwolf story. Okay, I'll give you an
Okay.
example.
Okay.
They're sending 5 Legionnaires, which at the time was 1/4 of the roster.
Yeah, you're saying 20
Okay.
to 25 members. Yeah.
Okay, well, at the time was 1/4 of the roster. They're sending 5 Legionnaires to deal with crime, with robberies of
Okay.
scientific equipment
Okay, that seems very
on
odd.
one planet.
Okay.
And I bring this up because it's like that feels like an overkill.
Well, yeah, but it could be some strange planet, and therefore,
Yeah. Or you get a lot of stories where, for example, they had a book where let's see if they can hide secrets because they're trying to bring out a spy that's in the Legion. You know,
okay.
so they pretend to break on on the information so that the science police the science police guy or what that was the spy could figure it out.
Hmm.
So I mean, like you had a lot like that, and then you did have like Earth-wide threats, like Starfinger, who went around saying, "I'm going to wreck the 7 modern wonders of the world." That was his shtick, okay, and he managed to ruin a couple. And then you get a similar story type for Jim Shooter's first one, where the Huns decide to invade Earth.
Okay.
And they're a warlike race that the Legion fights
But I mean,
quite
the
often.
Legion had members that were non-Earthlings, I guess. Well, I mean,
Yes, well,
Superboy and Supergirl are already like, but they're still.
yeah, well,
their home is-
everybody. Okay, there were only five people from Earth in the
Yeah,
Legion.
that's what I'm thinking.
Okay,
Yeah.
and the rest were from other planets, but they're all descended from human. They're all human of some sort,
Humanoid, I know.
with the
Yeah.
exception of Chameleon Boy, who's
Okay,
the shapeshifter from Durla.
Okay, and what does he normally look like? Is he like?
Well, he normally looks like the typical alien with the antennae and all that stuff.
Okay, awesome.
If you were to read one of the books, let's see if I've got him on a cover here. Yes, I got him right here. He's he's this guy right here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Yeah. Okay. Like they've got the Durlans. By the way, this is the death of Chemical King,
Oh, okay.
which is this guy here. It's another big one. But basically, it's amazing that but I mean, like they can't be everywhere at once. But and for the most part, they are where they need to be in the bigger stuff when people escape from the prison planets. But you also have stories where they go out to play a part of the universe. They come back and Earth has been taken over by Universal, but they don't know it, and he's outlawed the Legion. That kind of stuff. They get stories like that, and then in this story, it's like, oh my God, this must have been the Batcave, and sure enough, you see the giant penny.
Oh yeah.
So you do get some interesting thoughts.
So is it like we just? I'm not sure if you read it yet, but did you read X Factor 92?
I did read it yesterday. Yes.
Did you find it ultra confusing?
The first
I mean,
read,
the main storyline easy, but my point is like just all the
What I
sheer
did-
number of characters. Like, who are these people?
what I did was I read it once, and I was a
Okay.
little confused,
Mhm.
and then I read a summary online,
Okay.
and then reread it.
Oh, okay. But my point is this: I always wonder with this, like with these kind of, where you said, the the Legion had like 20 or 25 different characters.
Yeah.
And what I found when I read X Factor, I found it was like, who are half the, like, I know my X-Men characters, but a lot of these ones I did not know. And I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know what their powers are.
Yeah, I
I
knew
don't know what their,
Quicksilver, and that's about it.
yeah, I know Quicksilver, I knew Havoc, and, I knew those ones. But my point is, when you're reading a Legion book, do you find it that you're getting tossed in? You're like, what? Who are these characters? Or is it fairly like
In the mid
consumable?
'60s, they did a lot of stuff with the full team until Kurt Swan complained, cut back on each issue because I can't draw 21, 22 characters an issue. Okay.
But is it confusing to the reader? Do you find it, or is it?
No,
do
because they
set
take
it up a
enough
bit better?
time. They took enough time. There were features like called Meet the Legion, and they would like explain this is so and so, this is their real name, this is the planet they're from, this is their power, and they did that a lot.
But would they do that like so? Let's say you buy some random Legion book. Are you gonna like? Do they kind of set like even with X Factor 92? They basically were saying, "Hey, Bob." Hey, Bob. Like this guy is Bob, by the way.
Well, that's pretty much what they do. They'll sit there and say, in the earlier books, they used their code names more. In the later books, they started using real names more. Like instead of Bouncing Boy, it was Chuck, that kind of stuff.
I'm just curious
so
because like,
I got a question here with K Munin. Chemical King has not been used since.
I think he means Cosmo King.
No, Chemical King. That's the one that died that I just showed.
Oh, okay. Oh, the guy.
Chemical King, as Chemical King, has not been used since he died in any regular use. He's been remade into a different character, but it was only used a couple times. Saturn Queen, on the other hand, every 5 years or so makes a big appearance. There was one just before they went to the New 52. There was a big Legion of Supervillains special that came out where she was the leader and she was the main person. Lightning Lord was still there, but Cosmic King had died by this point. There was also I can't remember if it was Batman, Superman, or Superman the series, but there was actually a timeline where Saturn Queen ruled Kandor, and Ultraman from Earth 3 was brainwashed into thinking he was her son.
Wow.
So it was kind of neat.
So
I would agree.
Always evil in the storyline.
She's always been evil. The key was in that original story was they made a comment about the rings of Saturn have this special radiation that eliminate criminal thoughts. So they gave her a piece from the rings.
They gave her a what from the rings?
A rock from the rings of Saturn to make sure she never would be evil again. That was in that Superman 147.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I agree with you, Stephen. The Fatal Five was an awesome two-parter. That was the one where Ferrolad ended up dying, and that was probably the one of the best stories that Jim Shooter wrote for the Legion. It was amazing that you had 5 characters, bad guys, and 5 good guys fighting against this huge thing that was going to eat Saul and destroy the Earth.
Oh, so they worked together in this case.
Yeah, so they had to work together because so many Legionnaires were spread across the galaxy. See, that's what I'm saying. In this case, they were spread across on various missions. They could only get 5.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's why it's called the Fatal Five.
So the science police said this is too freaking dangerous. We need to stop this. Like they were hiding it because they didn't want to cause panic on Earth, right? They were hiding the fact that this creature was coming to eat the sun. So they had to give pardons to the 5 worst criminals on the planet who hadn't met before. But once they got together, all decided to become this big group.
Okay.
So I would agree, K Munin. If you like, please come join us tomorrow on Biggie's channel at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be reviewing the X Factor book. And that's correct, Collecto 6, The Sun Eater. What is cool about the Sun Eater is, again, how things build, like sometimes like world building. The Collector was the name of the character who created this Sun Eater as a weapon to, you know, stop evildoers originally, and then he got nuts and corrupt
Yeah,
and
and
all
then he
stuff.
starts.
But the Collectors are Owens, like the guys who are the Guardians of the Universe. They're from the Green
Okay.
Lantern. They're
Okay.
their Yellow Lantern equivalent.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yes, they're the ones responsible for Sinestro.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
But
Alan,
yeah,
you want?
the yellow ring is like fear, isn't it?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Have you got anything else you'd like to show?
Oh, I can show whatever. If you want to see a bunch
Show
of
anything.
Flash,
It can be
I can
anything.
show. In the same box are my Flash comics.
Well, go ahead,
I can
because
grab.
actually
Just bring the box a little bit
there
closer.
is an issue. There is an issue of adventure where they have these two people called the Tornado Twins, and they are descendants of Barry Allen.
Okay. So in the same box, I'm just showing you what's in the box, basically. We got first appearance of Gorilla Grodd.
Very
And-
nice.
And this is Flash 106. It's also the first appearance of the Pied Piper.
So that must be worth more as a double first appearance.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a fairly valuable book. You know, these DC keys don't get the love they deserve. But Gorilla
Yeah.
Grodd is kind of he is a popular character. I think he makes his first cover appearance either in the next issue or 2 issues later. I think somewhere soon after. And then we have Flash 117.
Mhm.
Mine has a married centerfold or something like that. I think it's yeah, center wrap married. But I don't know. I liked Captain Boomerang in the in the Suicide Squad movie, so I figured, hey, why not?
Well, I think Steven
Yeah,
would
I
know
thought.
that.
Yeah, I
Well,
think. Yeah, I think it was a 3-parter. That's right. So
yeah.
that's why I was thinking it was
He's a
108.
big Flash
that-
guy, if I remember.
Yeah, I think it was 108 that he made his first cover appearance. Yeah, Gorilla God is like a cool character. There's actually a prototype of him earlier on. But this is Flash 105. This is
Nice.
actually really Flash 1, I believe.
Right. It's Silver Age 1. Yeah.
So this is you know, the Mirror Master as well. His first appearance of the Mirror Master. Mirror Master, like I really thought Mirror Master was really cool in Justice League, not Justice League, Deceased.
Right.
So he was zombified, okay,
Right.
and basically, you know, anything that's a reflective surface, he can kind of go through.
Yeah. They did a fantastic job with Mirror Master on the Flash TV show.
Yeah, he is like such a cool character, like just
Yeah.
so dangerous as a zombie. It's
Yeah.
like,
I believe it.
yeah, it was pretty crazy because he was just like they had to be constantly paranoid of anything reflective.
Yeah.
So it was just, yeah, I thought it was really cool. So that's what inspired me to get this book, strangely enough.
Oh, that's a great one.
But yeah,
You can't go wrong with early Flash. Well, honestly,
early
the
Flash
Bronze
are quite
Age,
good.
Bronze Age, Silver Age, Bronze Age Flash is fantastic.
And then
I
for some
find though
reason-
that they pushed it a little hard at the end to try and wrap it up all nice in a bow before he died in Crisis, but you know,
for some reason, the same box. One sec here. This again. Let's see what other things are in here. Okay, I'm just curious what's in this box because it's really random stuff. But okay, I'll show a little bit more Flash. This is a really
Another
good
good
story.
one.
Yeah, have you read this one?
I've read it. I don't own it.
Yeah, it's a great story.
Yeah.
I just like the fact that there's a bit of a MacGuffin in it where they
Yeah.
have to give them an excuse to go into the future, basically.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was a really cool story. You know, and it's such a cool thing where they bring up the idea that, you know, you can have the different generations of Flash, right? The gold and silver age Flash. I thought that was really cool. So yeah, and so Flash 123. But it's actually, I believe this is even before Marvel did it, where you have this kind of multiple universe kind of
Yes,
idea.
this was the first.
This is the very first, yeah, for
This is the
that. So
first, if I remember correctly.
yeah, so that's major cool book. Great story too. Like I was almost thinking about using that one for the comic club, the book club. Okay, this one I'm going to be burning, but this one is my extra copy. So
Nice.
this one I'm probably going to light on fire and not checking. So this one is up for anyone that wants this. I will sell it or trade it or whatever. This is my other copy of Silver Surfer #1. Still a great
Nice.
I still love it though. It's still a great book, but
Mm,
I have a better copy now. So
that's awesome.
and then we got so you'll notice a bit of a theme, the big
The
premiere
big,
issues.
yeah, the big premiere issues. But
Yeah.
that was a good, Steve. If we were on a different type of channel, I could get into this
Yeah, all the
discussion.
science.
All the science on it, I love it. But
I was a
we're doing
physics
it from a
major, so I
comic book.
love that stuff
Yeah.
too. So yeah, so this is the Iron Man 1. And then this is one of my favorite Submariner covers, actually. I'm not sure why.
Yes.
It's like really random what's in this box, but I always thought
Well,
this was.
I like
I
the
just love
fact that it
color.
shows. I like the fact that it shows that most of the other Atlanteans are blue.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
And that Namor is a rarity.
He's the
being-
freak. He's
well,
the
he's the
freak.
like, as they call him, he's the mixed breed, right? So he's
Yeah.
got the human blood, so he's got the human coloring, as they say.
Yeah, yeah. And actually, they even made more of a big deal about it with Namora,
Yeah,
where she couldn't even have children because of it. It was
yeah,
like,
I
a big deal.
remember seeing that.
And then we got the other big premiere issue, Iron Man.
Iron King and Submariner #1.
Yeah.
Iron King, Iron Man.
Yeah,
sorry.
Iron Man. Yeah,
It's the Iron King.
Iron King. He's
Anybody
Iron
need
King.
it? Does anybody need their clothing pressed?
So yeah, and then
Very
we got
nice.
Submariner #1. I actually,
68 was a good year for Marvel.
Yeah, this was 1968, and they did all these big premiere ones. I think it was like, this is their new 52, or like where
Yeah.
they kind of rebooting kind of thing.
Well, they also were in a situation where they were no longer relying on independent news to be their distributor. So they weren't limited to 8 titles a month. That's why.
Yeah, that was huge. They were really screwed over by that contract,
Yeah.
actually. So yeah, and then for some reason in the same box, like there's like the logic of my organization is not, it's not there. Yeah. So Steve always calls those the class of
Yeah.
68. But do you know what this is?
Fighting 5. I'm not sure what it is, but I know the book. I've seen the book.
This is the first appearance of Peacemaker.
Yes, that's it. I know this. And now that you say that, yes, that's what I'm saying. I've seen the book.
Yeah.
I've
So these are all my Charlton books in here as well. I just, they're in the same box. If you can explain my logic, I don't know. Then we got Captain Atom.
I love the fact that right now, if anybody out there is not reading Jenny Sparks, they should. Captain Atom is the bad guy in it.
Oh, really?
Yes, because he's not well.
Oh, so
things are he's having some difficulties. So Jenny Sparks is keeping up with keep a watch on him because the Justice League doesn't have time.
Oh, that's cool. And then, but yeah, this is the first Blue Beetle.
Nice, as in Ted Kord.
Ted Kord first appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And strangely, I don't know why they always do this, but so I always wonder, why is that the first? Okay, so this is the first Ted Kord, right?
Yes.
And then we got, I showed this yesterday, the first Silver Age Blue Beetle. So this is the original Blue Beetle, right?
Yes.
The one from the Golden Age just being brought back.
Yes. If I
So why did
remember
they switch the
correctly,
Blue Beetle? I just don't
well,
get it.
I'm not sure because Dan Garrett had powers with the Scarab.
Hmm.
He had a bit of powers or whatever. And Ted Kord ended up with the Scarab later, but Ted doesn't really have the superpower part of it. He's more of a techno-rich wizard guy. Not
Okay.
wizard, like technological wizard in
You,
that
you
sense.
know what's
I mean,
you know what's yeah, I was just
take
gonna say
away. Yeah, go ahead.
oh sorry, I was gonna say that if did you watch the Blue Beetle movie?
No, I have not, but that's a different Blue Beetle. That's Jaime Reyes.
Well, I know it is.
Yeah,
But they actually mentioned Ted Cord.
yeah, because
They brought him into it. Yeah. So he's kind
the
of like
thing is,
it
I
almost like
don't
they
think.
set it up to be like another episode, but
Mhm.
didn't
What I
obviously
think
do that.
happened was that the Scarab didn't work for Ted Kord at one point. I'm not sure if that. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Okay.
But I know that they made him into that, that bit of a buffoon, right, in the Justice League. But the
Oh, that's
thing
not
is,
good.
that buffoon was brilliant and rich.
Oh, okay.
Okay, he had his own company, so up and down. Like he
Hmm.
was really good as a fixer, a technological guy, but he wasn't like a smart guy, like a detective type guy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And the last oh wait, I was just gonna
Oh,
show
sorry.
one
I'll
more.
bring you back,
This
big.
is
I'll
the
bring you
first
back, big.
Captain Atom. Steve
That one I
Ditko
know.
cover, by the way.
It's really nice, and I like the old. Yes, that's
It's
right,
funny that you
Stephen.
got
Mr.
the
Gold.
crazy
Win a trip to Disneyland.
yeah. I always think that's really funny.
Considering Disney World didn't exist at that time, it was pretty.
Well, this was Disneyland.
Yeah, exactly. The one in Anaheim.
Yeah. But yeah, what was that doesn't even exist anymore, does it?
Yes, it does.
There's still a Disneyland in
Yes, there
Anaheim.
is. In Anaheim, yes.
Oh,
The
I
Big
always
Bang,
thought
the
just
Big Bang guys go there all the time in terms of the show.
oh really? I just thought Disneyland was the one in California, and then
It
the
is.
one I know there's one in California, but
Yeah.
I didn't realize there was a second one. How many
No, there's the
Disneylands are
Walt
there?
Disney World and the Disneyland. There's the two. One in California and Walt Disney World is in Florida.
Yeah, I've been to both, but I've
Yes.
never been to any in Anaheim.
Well, that's where Disneyland is.
But
It's
Disney
Anaheim. It's
California.
yes.
Oh, I
Anaheim is
was
a
thinking.
suburb of Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Why am I thinking Anaheim? Of course I know that. What am I thinking?
That's fine.
No, I was thinking somewhere in New York. What was the reason I'm thinking New
Six
York?
Flags.
No, the reason I'm thinking New York is it says win a round trip, TWA to Disneyland, or New York. That's
Or
why it's like it got in my mind. I was like, what? Why am I thinking Anaheim's New York? I actually have a
come up
client in
to
Anaheim,
Derby,
California.
Connecticut. Come up to Derby, Connecticut. Tour the
Yeah,
tour the
jeez.
Charlton Press.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my brain sometimes. I actually have a client in Anaheim, California that I visited, so I don't know why I was mentally blocking there.
Well,
But yeah,
so what K Munin is saying is this: we've turned this into a Mickey Mouse of the broadcast. So
oh why?
I don't know because he's saying we went from comics to Disney. Let's go back to comics. Well, I'm going to show a couple more, and then I'm going to have to get off because my wife is going to be home soon.
Yeah, I gotta go
So-
too. Actually,
So here we go. Talking about the Fatal Five, here is one that has the Fatal Five in it: Superboy and the Legion 231. At
Very
this
nice.
point, the series has gone to the giant format.
okay.
And
So is that like a thick book or?
it's thicker. It's a 60-cent giant, which means it's about the double the size.
Okay.
And let's see here. Oh, I will end it with this. This was a Treasury edition that features the wedding of Lightning Lad and Saturn Girl.
That cover
This is-
looks very similar to the previous cover.
Yes, but it is different. Mike Grell was off the book around the time this came out, but he came back just to do the big special.
And Is that Saturn Girl, the girl that's kind of sexy in the
Yes,
background
Saturn
there?
Girl is the one in the bikini.
Wow.
Mhm.
I'm now gaining new appreciation for Saturn Girl.
Yes, from about 1972 to 1983, sorry, 1981. She wore this bikini thing, and then something happened. She was cold, and she ended up having to put the old one back on.
Oh, that's a shame.
Anyway, yeah, I know it's a shame, but you know what? By then, she was a married woman, so
Oh, okay. Wow.
then no longer the kid, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Alan, thank you very much for coming out tonight. I just wanted to have a little live chat because I know it's Legion themed again, but based on what it was about, that's why.
Made sense. Made sense.
You know, it made sense this time. I hope everybody is out there has enjoyed it. You know, and I hope that everybody can join us on Biggie's stream tomorrow, on Alan's stream on Friday, and with Cliff on Saturday. I've got a busy week ahead.
Yeah, you're like
in terms of
streaming man.
online on streaming. So, anyways, everybody, my name's Matt, and I like comics, and I hope you do too. Good night, everybody.